Hey guys, I want to share with you the ideology, the three core foundational principles to the Fearless Millionaire ideology, the Fearless Millionaire mindset. I want to share with you why this is so important, how it can change your life, and it will, when applied, how it can impact not only you, your current state, but your future self. And I'm going to share those with you right now. So get ready. Let's get into this. All right. So first, I'm going to use my handy dandy Apple Pencil. Going to draw the first C. There we go. First C is for clarity. Clarity. And the reason why, by the way, don't mind my handwriting. I'll try to. It's like if I fix it, it's not going to get any better. But the reason why clarity is so important, it's the foundation to getting started. It's the foundation to everything else. Have you ever started a business venture and maybe down the road, a year later, you realized, wow, if I knew this earlier, I wouldn't have made this mistake, right? It's such a common thing. Or have you ever been in a situation where you're not sure of what to do, how to get started, who to talk to, what to do first, and so you wander around in this cycle of analysis paralysis, maybe going down the rabbit holes. You find yourself Googling and going down YouTube, nothing against YouTube, obviously, but you find yourself going down this, YouTube heaven and just going video after video, and then life gets in the way. You find all these distracted by all these other things. So much can happen that you actually never really get started. Okay. And that's simply because there isn't a point of clarity. Now, I am going to touch on this in different videos. So if you want to learn more or go deeper, you can go to the clarity playlist or subscribe and you'll get notified on when new videos come out. Okay. So clarity is really important. I want to share with you a quote that I discovered during a really unique time in my life. When I was 17 years old, around 18, actually, 17, 18, I had gotten my first car. I got into a serious car accident, like serious. I was in the hospital. The EMTs, police officers came and visited me because they were so surprised that I was alive. And that's what they were telling me. There's a reason why you're here. You're so fortunate to be alive. There must be a plan for you, right? Because you should not be alive right now. And those words sunk in so deep that it just stayed with me. And then after that, after I started leaving the hospital, I took a few days leave. At the time, I was a mortgage broker and just starting as a mortgage broker. And I ended up like perusing around this office supply store. And it was like one of my favorite places to go, being an entrepreneur, a young entrepreneur at that time. And I stumbled upon this CD. Yes, I said CD, not MP3. A CD that was titled Unlimited Power by Tony Robbins. If you don't know who Tony Robbins is, I don't even know how you're here. But Tony Robbins is like the godfather of personal development and coaching, and he's just actually, I would say he's the godfather of those things, but he's so much more than that. He's actually, call him a life transformationalist. Actually, he's just so amazing. And if it wasn't, I wouldn't even be living my life right now if it wasn't for Tony. Honestly, I would be in a totally different position, honestly, because Tony really helped bring a lot of clarity to my life. During that time, I found a quote from W. Clement Stone. Now, I would have been more organized if I pulled it up here and was able to show you. I'll work on that in the future. Maybe I can just grab it really quick. I don't see why I couldn't do this. Let's try this real quick. So W. Clement, one second, Clement Stone. And I already know, I'm not going to say it out loud. Okay, right here. I actually found it. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy and paste it, and I'm going to put it right here in the meeting. That way you can see it. So let me just do a sticky note, which I think you can see my sticky notes, right? Can you see my sticky notes? That is not a sticky note. Let's juice it up a little bit. How's that? All right. So I want you to pay attention to this quote. I'm going to put it right up here for you. Okay. So when you discover your mission, you will feel its demand. It will fill you with enthusiasm and a burning desire to get to work on it. That's like That's like everything in C. That's clarity 100%. Because the clarity is, what are you doing? And of course, you may be thinking, like, well, Nathan, I'm clear on my mission, but I'm not clear on how to get my first client. I'm clear on my mission, but I'm not clear on how to set up my microphone for my podcast, right? Whatever. Like, there's so many little things that could come up. And I call those logistics. Okay. Logistics is the movement of items in your life. It's always the processes. Okay. So, the reality is, when you are clear, you and the more clarity you push for, okay, the more the fog disappears, okay? Because when you are crystal clear, you're not going to be distracted. And here's a very important part that I want to share with you. When you are crystal clear on what you're supposed to be doing, even in your own business, that means you're not going to be distracted so much by the little tasks. You're going to learn how to delegate. You're going to be able to push those things away. You're going to say, no, this is not for me. This is not what I should be doing. Okay. I need to be doing X, Y, and Z to get things over the finish line. I need to be able to doing this. This is the money making part of my business. And that's where you need to be focused on. Next is the next C right here. Let's do it. All right. And we have confidence. All right, now this is a very important one, and a lot of people get this one confused. Okay, so I want to create some clarity in the confidence. Okay, confidence is not something that people are born with. I want to make that very clear. So if you feel shy or embarrassed, we can touch on that a little bit later. But here's the thing. Nobody is born with confidence. It's actually a skill that you have to work on a daily basis. I actually want to share two types of stories. I want to share with you my previous life before confidence and my life now after confidence. Okay, is that even a saying? But anyway, so before confidence, when I was a young boy, I was like the little guy, 5, 6 years old, sitting in the back of the room, within my class. I didn't want anybody to talk to. I used to sit like facing the other way. I was always in the back of the room, up and even till middle school and even a little bit of high school. But the reality is, I was always shy. My first few birthdays, there were surprises. My family would throw a surprise and I'd hide under the table, or I'd hide behind a chair, or, I just remember this one time my family organized this big party of maybe 30, 50 people in a big dining room in our home. And all of a sudden, everyone's like, surprise. And I think my parents thought, like, okay, he's 12 years old now, he'll be okay. I think I was 12. And I wasn't okay. And I went upstairs and I was just like, I'm not dealing with this. So I was a very shy guy, and I couldn't really know how to cope with those situations. So I want to share with you how I got out of it, just in case maybe you grew up with a shy background, or, maybe whether it was shyness or embarrassment. And we're going to cover that in just a second. So how did I break out of that? How did I get some confidence? Well, here's the thing. If you are entrepreneurial or money motivated and you're starting your own business, here's what I did. I started reading books. Every day. After my first job, I was delivering newspapers. I'd get to a local cafe and I'd read from 7 to 8, and around 8:30 actually, and I'd get to the office by 9. At that time in my life. And, I'd read these books, and let me tell you, my secret to these books working, was I was just gullible. I literally was gullible to what they said. If the book said, do this to get this, do this to do this, and this will change your life, do this and it'll change your life, that's what I believed. So I believed what I read. And the reality is, I believed, I read, I tested, I proved it to be true, and it worked. That was the best part. It worked. So that was life-changing for me. And I remember even little things. I remember reading this book, like how to get people to say yes to you, to whatever it is you want. So I remember this part very well, because what I wanted to drink a free beverage every morning at this cafe. I would go there, I'd order the same thing, I'd get my breakfast sandwich, and I'd get a drink every time. But I said, you know what? How can I get a drink for free? I want to get the drink for free. How can I do that? Let me work my way up. So what did it say? First, you give compliments. Then you go deeper with your compliments. Then you do this and that. And I followed those steps. Well, guess what? Eventually, the manager, it didn't take long, by the way. It took about a week. I'd say about a week. It took about a week. Then the manager started giving me a free beverage every morning. Now, I know you might be thinking like, okay, Nate, they're going to lose money, all this stuff. But we did a value proposition. What I my negotiation for that offer, it was an offer, okay? My offer was I had to bring new customers to the cafe. That was our arrangement. I bring new customers, and I would track it with their name, and I would get a free drink. And at the end of the week, she'd look at it and say, okay, well, yeah, you did, so you don't have to pay anything. So that's how our arrangement worked. It was like a local lead generation guy, and it's just crazy. When I think back to those moments, it's ironic to me. I was like, was that really me? Did I really do that? And so doing that got me out of my comfort zone, because basically confidence, the lack of confidence just means you have to step out of your comfort zone. Now, I could go deep into this. Confidence can be so deep in so many ways, especially when it comes to like guys, asking girls out on a date, or how to get someone to listen to your proposal, how to get someone to sit down and talk to you, right? How to get all those things, how to get someone's attention on a phone call, on a cold call quickly. All those things I could go so deep into, but now's not the right time. I want to talk about confidence on a deeper level for you. Just a few tips that you can do. And the first thing you need to focus on is what makes you think you're not confident. What is this? What's called self-talk? Okay, so I'm just going to write here in quotations. I'm going to put self-talk. Okay, I have a whole lesson on this in one of my Clear the Fog program. In my Clear the Fog program, it's a training that I do. Okay, there we go. It's a training that I do that helps investors like change their mindset, get out of their own way, and learn how to change what they tell themselves, basically. So that they can adjust the words that they use, the moments of self-doubt and disbelief or embarrassment, maybe fear of looking stupid and fearing stupid, those kinds of things. How to uncover that. So I go deeper into that in the training of it's called Clear the Fog. So this self-talk, it really helps you build a confidence. Like it's almost like talking to yourself. Tony Robbins used to say this is called affirmations. Like, I will do this, and I will become this, and I am this. So you're like speaking to your future self of what you want to become. Well, I take that, yes, that's very good and it works. And I adjust that and I say, what is the outcome that I want from this confidence? Okay. Who is the person I want to become? Now, I'm going to give you a little strategy. Okay. Let me just move this over here. Oh, guys, me and this tech, as tech savvy as I am. Okay. So we're going to continue down the road here of self-talk. Okay. So what I want to show you now is I want you to get a piece of paper, right? Watch this. Here's my piece of paper. Look at this, guys. Here's my piece of paper. Love it. All right. You get a piece of paper, and at the top, okay, and right here across down. All right. So I'm going to give you an example of what you're going to do. You're going to take your name, and you're going to put the word fearless before it. So I'm going to put the word fearless here. Okay. Okay. And I'm going to get better with this pencil, guys. Don't worry. All right. I'm looking at my E like, okay. So you take the word fearless and you put your name before it. So Fearless Nathan. Okay. Now, what you do, it's simple, very simple. How you feel now. Okay. So now, right here. Okay. Now you can draw another line if you want. And future self. Okay. Future self. Okay. All right. That says future. Don't worry. It says future. Okay. All right. So that's now. And then you have your future self. So who you are now, you're going to write down how you feel. Anything that comes to mind. Like, I'm going to use the word shy. Okay. Yeah. No, I'm a shy guy. All right. I'm shy. I get embarrassed, or, I don't know what to say. Right. So I don't know. Don't know what to say. Okay. Right. And you can go on and on. Just write down the things of how you feel now that you feel like you're lacking confidence in any area of your life. Okay. So you write those down on the left side. Then on the right side, you write what you're not, right? Who you are, or who you want to be, the future you, the fearless you. Okay, you write out the fearless you, who you are. So, and now let me tell you something. And when I started this process myself, I wanted to become, at that time, I wanted to become a public speaker. And I was like, man, I'm going from the back of the room and shy to a public speaker. How am I going to do that? Right. So when I followed this process, and it was a little bit different process, by the way. This is something I created. This formula is something I created where you put fearless and Nathan on the top. But there's it's a similar like future, like you're putting yourself into the future of who you want to become, and you write that out. So under future here, you're going to put, hey, I want to be, I want to be fearless, right? I want to be, what does that mean? I'm giving you a basic one because everybody says basic things. So, I want to be fearless. Well, what does that mean? What does fearless mean? Well, I want to be bold. Okay, well, that's kind of vague too. Let's go deeper, right? How do you want to be bold? I want to be able to greet anyone. Okay, greet anyone. All right. Well, what does that mean? Greet anyone. You see how I'm going deeper, right? And I'm doing this for a reason. Greet anyone. Well, I want to be able to like attract. Okay. Attract the right people. The right people. Okay. Into your life. Okay. That's a confidence thing. Next is another thing to be the fearless you. It could be like an action. Hold on, let me just separate this. Okay, you want to be like a speaker, public speaker, which is, most people would rather die. So you want to be a public speaker. Maybe you want to do networking. Okay, meeting other people. How about singing? You want to be a singer or an actor. All right. I'm just writing a few different things, like who is the future you who is fearless. Okay, so the reason why on top, because this typically happens with people, they'll write like these big generic words like I want to be bolder, I want to be braver, I want to have confidence, I want you to like, who is the person you want to become? Who is the fearless you, right? What do they do? How do they act? You can even write out how you act. For example, when you walk into a room, people all turn and look at you and are attracted and drawn to you, right? That takes confidence. Like, how would you do that, right? How do you command a room? And I don't mean command a room like you're cracking a whip on everybody, look at me, or you have an ego. No, it's just a sense of presence, right? And how about other areas of confidence? I'll give you another example. How about areas of confidence of asking maybe your boss for a higher raise? Maybe you're in a job right now. How about asking a client for more, maybe a higher price or additional income? How about asking your audience to buy your product, right? That all takes confidence. So whatever it is for you, I want to put your future self into the fearless you into the future here. Okay. So put who you are now on the left side, how you feel, and then the future you on the right side. Okay. That's how you do that. So do that exercise. And we got one more as we wrap up here. We got one more right here. We're going to do the third C. Okay. And this is cash flow. And now you're probably thinking like, okay, Nathan, we're all personal development, 1 and 2, you know, personal development and mindset. What does cash flow have to do with these things? Like why does more money have to do with these things? Well, actually, the only way you can increase your income is with those 2 C's preceding them. Let's say you have a job. Let's say it's your first job. Right? Think back to when maybe you're in high school. You're going for your first job. First, you had to be clear on what job you wanted. Right? Then you have to have the confidence to go submit your resume, your CV. Right? Those are little steps. I'm just reminding you of. How about go asking for a promotion? Right? Increase cash flow, but you need the confidence to go do it. Right? So those are little moments maybe from your past that you used to think about. Now, how about now? How about maybe fast forward? Maybe you're looking at your retirement and you're thinking, well, how am I going to learn this new stuff that's going on, this new AI? And how am I going to get clarity on where to go with it and how to use it, right? And if you feel lost, if you feel confused, if you feel left behind, then all of a sudden, all these thoughts can crush your confidence, okay? So you have to constantly fight for clarity and push through the fog, and that will help build your confidence through a process of clearing up your self-talk like we just went over. And when you do that, it will increase your cash flow. Whether it's in your current job, or maybe you're starting a business, maybe you're growing a business, maybe you're getting to a startup, whatever it may be, maybe you're buying a property, right? Whatever it may be. So let's take it property, because you guys know my background, real estate investing, helped a bunch of people do that over the years, coached a bunch of real estate investors and experts in the industry. Also in the knowledge business, selling knowledge, like how to make money from what you know and monetize your knowledge. Let's just take back to real estate, for example. If you wanted to go buy a new investment piece of property, you want to buy in, first you got to know, you got to get clear on where it is, the location, is it the right property? Then you have the confidence to go make the offer, then confidence to negotiate, right? Those are items you have to do, confidence to close, right? And what does those bring? Cash flow. Right? So this is the fundamental 3 C's that you need in your life to build more wealth, to attain more freedom, to be able to choose the life you want. It's these 3 C's. When you master those 3 C's, and you really, the first 2, the cash flow will come. Now, I'm not going to go so deep into cash flow today, such as what types of cash flow, because I don't go into many different verticals or different asset vehicles. I really just focus on 2, and we can share more of those in detail. And if you're here already, then you must be attracted to either monetizing your knowledge or some kind of investment advice, like, getting involved in real estate and stuff like that, if you know my background. So that the cash flow has to come from generating cash flow from a business, making more money, and then monetizing it, earning more cash flow, and then maybe putting it into investment property for more cash flow, right? So for wealth creation. So those are the 3 C's. Don't forget W. Clement Stone. When you discover your mission, you will feel its demand. It will fill you with enthusiasm and a burning desire to get to work on it. And I remember one of my business cards that I had at that time, I had this, an alliance, a group, okay, a small mastermind group in the area that I was living in, and I called it the Achievers Alliance. And I put this quote right on the back. It's like, you had to believe in this quote in order to be part of the alliance. So otherwise you can't be part of the alliance. so this quote meant so much to me, and I hope it impacts you. I hope this video or this training right here has helped you. If it does, let me know. Either shoot me a comment, or if you have a comment, put a question, put it in the comments, or give this video a like so I know. And if you want more notification, you want to be notified of more trainings like this, then what you're going to do is subscribe to the channel or follow, and get involved. Get involved in maybe the Clear the Fog program. Maybe you take that on and go through that. It's a really great program. Lots of reviews. You can join the community of people talking about it and asking for guidance and correction. You can also hear the other people's feedback from the community. So we're actually launching that again. We do it periodically. So if you're interested, just let me know, and then we'll go from there. All right. So guys, I hope this has been helpful. Remember the 3 C's: build up yourself for clarity, confidence, and cash flow, and to help you build your life for more wealth and freedom. I'll see you real soon.